Meanwhile, rent is skyrocketing across the country as inflation continues at a 40-year high. Rent is up more than 30% in many cities, leaving people with little choice when it's time to renew their lease or go look elsewhere. Newsy's Bianca Fascini has been following this impact.
From food to furniture, inflation is hitting just about everything. But it's more than the goods we buy. It's also where we live.
Rent has gone up about a total of $180 to $200.
Garrett Cooper, a renter in Cincinnati, says he's had to work extra hours to pay the bills after a recent spike in rent. And it's happening all over the country.
I don't think anyone can prepare for 3-4 months of a $1,000 rent increase.
Now, Thomas Gestrick is dipping into savings to pay his bills after his rent went up in Phoenix. Their experiences are common. In fact, rent jumped 17% year over year. In some metro areas, it went up 3 times as much. Tenants don't see a change in cost until their lease is up or they move somewhere else. That means some renters are just now experiencing the worst of rental price increases after already having to deal with elevated costs for other things. Meanwhile, landlords like Jennifer Fearman say they have bills to pay too, after emerging from a pandemic that saw unpaid rents and evictions temporarily prohibited.
I was still on the hook to pay my mortgage, even though my tenant wasn't paying their rent.
But there doesn't seem to be much sympathy for landlords like there is for renters.
A lot of landlords are, feeling it because there's not really much empathy out there. The humanitarian side, as far as the landlords, is lost.
Due to high demand for rentals, especially as remote workers move into new communities, prices remain red hot.
The prices that these homes are going for is off the charts. And the new inventory that's coming online, those prices are off the charts.
Rental rates tend to be higher during the approaching summer months as college grads look for housing, meaning many potential renters could be in for a rude awakening. To make matters worse, there aren't many alternatives to sky-high rents, as home ownership continues to be out of reach for the average American.
And with mortgage rates going up, that means that property gets a little bit more expensive because of the cost of the mortgage.
Experts do believe inflation could be peaking for some items, but it remains unclear when or if rent prices will cool off. Bianca Fascini, Newsy, Washington.